Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty, and today's episode is the reading number 4 out of the 52 readings with the Fountain Tarot Journal. This time the journal didn't offer me a prompt anymore how to continue with the reading, so I got to use my own choice with the spread and the card placings on top of the question. So because I want to keep these prompts as usable as possible for everybody else if they want to try these out. So I thought that what would be more fitting to this time to do the reading than link it with the full moon in Leo that is happening now in January in 2021, in the 28th of January. So first I created this spread, and I will attach the picture that I made from the spread and the instructions how to do it here, so you can see it. So it's a full moon spread in Leo, and I'm gonna walk you guys through the idea behind this quickly. So while creating this spread, I wanted to include these ideas behind the spread that I made. And because the full moon is happening and is in Leo, I thought that the main focus in the first card placing would be the inner fire. And of course, linking Leo, the sign, the zodiac sign that is ruled by Sun, it was really obvious to link it to the element of fire. And that also took the idea deeper into the sixth Sephirah of Tiferet that is ruled by Sun, and which is, we are talking about the self, the inner core, as all of our Sun is representing within ourselves. So the first card is the inner fire. What quality of yourself needs strengthening? Because the strength card is linked to Leo, so then the link to Sun and fire. And the second card is representing the element of air. And how I chose this, I used the Decanic wheel of the tarot, and because the full moon is in Leo, but also the Decanic minor ruling or active now. We are in this Decanic minor, and it goes to the Five of Swords, and that comes from the date that the full moon is happening. So that's so the Decanic minor of Five of Swords was guiding this second card's position and meaning. And the meaning for this card is what inner mental battle needs to be won to strengthen your Sun, your core. So when I am referring to Sun here, we are talking about our inner core, our inner Sun. So ourselves, what makes us us, the burning fire in ourselves. And then, because I wanted to link all the elements to this reading, and while we are doing a reading about moon, a full moon reading, then I'm thinking about moon. And of course, moon rules the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign. So that brings out the water element to this reading. And the question here is how you should utilize your emotions and harness its energy to strengthen the Sun. So, because the way I see things, the way I see magic, for example, it all comes from emotion. The strength in us to do any sort of things is amplified with our emotions, no matter if they are positive or negative. But the emotions and the inner water is such a force to be utilized. So that's that. Then for the fourth card, I wanted to bring the element of earth, something concrete, into this reading. And this actually doesn't have now an astrological or zodiacal placing linked to this specific day, but I wanted to bring the earth element here. So It's labeled here for outer earth, the balancing element, the manifestation of this reading, because I don't want this reading to be just hanging loose in the air and just on the level of an idea and an illusion. So I wanted to add a concrete step to this. And the question for this card is, what practical things to do to tie all the energies together and strengthen the sun? So a practical step, combining the fire, the air and the water, and make something in real life to strengthen your inner sun. So let's jump into the reading. So for the first card, the inner fire, what quality of myself needs strengthening? Here we have the Ten of Wands. So we do get a fire card into the place of fire. And the Ten of Wands tells me here that I could benefit from actions that could help me to carry the load, the weight of life, and how to handle the burdenous things, the stresses that the life brings. And also this makes me think of the quality in me that I often try to do everything by myself and trust no one but me in the process. And it's like, even in small practical things, I like to be the one driving the car. I hate being in a bus or a train or airplane when I need to rely on others to do the things. So I'm thinking about that. I'm carrying too much. So let's see how that quality of myself could be strengthening, that the load of the Ten of Wands wouldn't be so heavy. And so then when the Decanic Minor of Five of Swords brings here the inner battle, the mental battle, because the Five of Swords is an air suit. So what inner mental battle needs to be won to strengthen my sun, my core? Hello, Three of Wands. You were here the last time also. Okay, so another fire card, and now a 3. And this card makes me think of the direction where I point my energy, how the inner battle would be to figure out how to direct my energy, follow my passion, point my energy to the right point. And maybe that will help when I first figure out of the direction where to point all the energy better and keep my focus there. That after that I could see what is important, what is not, what can be left undone, and what I should prioritize. Then, because this is the moon reading, we have the quality of the moon and from the Cancer, and that's the water link here. And how should I utilize my emotions and harness its energy to strengthen the sun? And here we get the 3 of Coins. So we get an earthy card in the water. And here the dude is holding the ball, but it's divided. Can you see? He's holding a bigger part, but the two parts on the upper half are divided to two, and there are two hands on each side carrying the load. So he's technically only holding half of the ball. And that also makes me think of trust, of cooperation, and not to rely only on myself, to accept help from others. So again, trust is the word that comes up immediately. But let's see when we tie this all together at the end. And let's jump to the last card, to the earth element of this reading, the balancing and balancing element and the manifestation. So what practical things to do to tie all these energies together and strengthen the sun? Justice. Interesting card to get, where the question is about the balancing element. Truly interesting. The justice, of course, she's there balancing her scales and thinking about accepting more help, and give up some of the load. As here in the Three of Discs, he's sharing the weight with the two other people there, and in that way to gain more balance. So let's break down this reading a bit and compile it together. So we have two Wands cards, two fire energy in the position of fire and air. Then we do have an earth card in the position of water, and then we do have an air card in the position of earth, so in the action. So this all makes me think a very internal mental process, because justice, it's the card of air. So the actions that need to be taken are first and foremost mental. So as a summary of this reading, the part of me that needs more strength is my ability to handle stress and workload and the weight of life, and to carry it all on my shoulders alone. And the battle mentally is to focus my energy into the right places and not scatter it all around and use all my energy in everything at the same time. Then rather focus it better and follow the passion, and trust that it will guide me to the right direction. And the emotional amplifier to use is trust, that could bring balance. So the emotion that I could sit with in a meditation on the full moon, because I'm actually not doing this reading on the actual full moon. So I could sit in a meditation on Wednesday and try to connect with that emotion that would follow after smaller load. The freedom of letting go and having more weight. Thinking on the emotion, how I would feel to be a bit more weightless, to be lighter. So I could strive to find the emotion that would bring me and what that emotion would be. So this is something that I think that I have to find the emotion of this image in a full moon meditation. I think that's what I'm going to do about it. But then the action is to find balance, to share responsibilities, and to remember to not to forget the thing of pointing the energy at right direction, and seeing that my scales are in balance. So as I said, this feels like a mental action, and this feels like something that needs to be think about more. And that's why my action after this reading is to meditate between these two cards somewhere here. What is the emotion that I could utilize? Is it happiness coming from freedom, or what that emotion is that could help me to strengthen this part of myself, the part of gathering all the load and carrying all by myself, and to meditate on the idea of finding more balance while pointing my energy at the right place at the right time. And once again, this book has this quote, and this time the quote was from Mary Oliver, and it says, "The most regretful people on earth are those who felt the call to creative work, who felt their own creative power restive and uprising, and gave it neither power nor time." So once again, I feel that this is quite appropriate while we are talking of creative work, and we do have here the Three of Wands and the Three of Coins. So we do have the energy of three there, of the work and the creative work. And the fact of not giving it power or time. So this quote directs me a lot to the Three of Wands, to remember to keep my eye on the creative power that I want to work with, and give it the power and the time. And what is really funny is that I have been actually whole January been experiencing this massive creative bursts. I have started to build on so many new projects, and I'm going to be keeping you guys updated, but I'm feeling this huge need to do more, to bring my hands down and dirty and do things and start new projects that actually are linked together. And I will soon make a video, is like a compilation of all those creative projects that I am immersing myself in now, and that gives me and they give me so much joy, and I really focus my passion in them. So I will keep you guys tuned. But this was the fourth reading. I'm sorry, I don't think it was as short as I planned to make it, but hope somebody managed to watch it in the end. And if you try the full moon in Leo spread, and if you want to share, let me know how it went. You can always contact me in DM in Instagram, Fierce and Pretty, or send me email, fierceandpretty@gmail.com, or comment down in the comment box. But enjoy the full moon, and until next time, bye guys!